Hello and welcome back to True Radiant You. My name is Victoria and today I have another yoga practice for you. There's lots of poses that help stretch your legs and your spine and overall just builds a little bit of energy and heat in your body to get you fueled up for the day. So if you're ready, go ahead and roll out your mat, grab a glass of water if you'd like, and let's get started. All right, welcome. So today we're gonna start in a seated pose. So your feet can be on top of each other, or you can have one foot on the ground or each foot on the ground. We're gonna go ahead and close our eyes. We're gonna sit up nice and tall. So imagine there's a thread coming from the crown of your head and it's pulling you nice and tall, elongating your spine. And go ahead and just rest your hands easily on your legs. Your palms can be face up if you like, or you can hold on to your leg. And we're gonna start to just come into the moment. So closing your eyes, taking a deep breath in through your nose, and exhaling out through your mouth. Starting to focus our thoughts. They could be running in 100 different ways. But since you're dedicating your time onto your mat right now, focus those thoughts into the present moment. You can do this by focusing on your breath. And on your next inhale, we're gonna circle our arms up overhead. Palms together. With an exhale, we're gonna open the palms down and float those arms back down. Just a couple more times, inhaling up. And exhaling down. So with your inhale, you can imagine you're gathering up energy. And with an exhale, you're pushing it away. One more time, inhaling up. And this time, we're just gonna float the right hand down onto the ground and take the left arm and stretch it over to the right side, getting a nice stretch in the side of your body. And we'll take the right arm and we'll push up and over onto the other side. I love doing this in my bed when I wake up in the morning, just stretching out your spine. And we'll come back towards center and let's get a little neck stretch going. So just dropping the right ear to the right shoulder. Take a deep breath here. And float on over to the other side. All right, we'll bring our head back towards center. We'll take our hands and we're gonna crawl them out forward, getting a full forward stretch going on here. And you can keep your head up or you can rest your head down. All right, let's crawl our hands back up towards seated. Once we've walked back up, we're going to extend our legs nice and long in front of us. And from here, we're just going to point and flex our toes. And we'll flex both of our feet, and I'll turn to the side for this one. All right, so let's go ahead and flex both of our feet. We're going to reach our arms up overhead nice and tall. Again, spine is nice and long and straight. And you're going to hinge at your waist, at your hips, not with your spine, but at the waist. And slowly lower down. And once you feel a nice stretch in the back of your legs, it might not take much, go ahead and release your arms down. So you can stay right here. Or if you're feeling a little bit more flexible today, you can take your peace fingers, wrapping them around your big toes. You can take your hands, wrapping them around your legs or your ankles. Just flowing into whichever version feels best to you right now. And you can even point your toes and reach down that way. So taking some deep breaths. Again, in every pose, you want to remember to be breathing, circulating that oxygen throughout your whole body. All right, let's go ahead and lift our upper body back up. We're going to take our right leg and we're going to place it on the inside of our left foot. And from here, we're going to reach up and float down again. So now you should feel this in the back of the left leg. Taking a couple deep breaths here. And if you want, you can take your hands and walk them onto the outside of your left leg. All right, let's walk those hands back towards center and walking our hands back up. We're going to place this right foot flat on the ground and you can stay right here or you can place it on the opposite side of that leg. We're going to hold on to the right knee with our left hand and we're going to add a little gentle twist. And unwinding, sending that right leg out nice and long in front of us, shaking out the legs real quick. And switching sides. So take the left foot, place it on the inside of the right thigh, flexing your right foot. Sit up nice and tall, floating those arms up, and exhaling, releasing down. Feeling that nice stretch in the back of the right leg. And again, not arching the spine, but keeping it nice and straight, hinging at the waist. And then once you feel a good stretch, then you can release your head. And again, if you want to take your hands and place them on the outside of that right leg to get a nice little deeper stretch in the side spine. And returning back to your breath, deep inhale. Nice, long, easy exhale. All right, and coming back towards center, lifting our upper body up, placing that left foot firmly on the ground. And again, you can stay right here, or if you want, you can place that left foot on the outside of your right leg, sitting up nice and tall. Left hand is behind us, right arm comes up and over, or you can just hold on to it. Bringing your gaze over your left shoulder. All right, and let's unwind that, sending that left leg out nice and long, shake out those legs. All right, let's make our way into a tabletop position. So swing those legs behind us, fingertips spread out. Your knees are going to be slightly apart and the bottom half of your legs are nice and relaxed. And go ahead and just move side to side, however feels good. Maybe you'll hear a bunch of joints pop and crack. So from here, we're going to come into our cat and cow poses. So with an inhale, we're going to drop our belly down to the ground. And we're going to lift our chin up towards the sky. Big inhale. And exhale, go ahead and reverse that. So you're going to arch the spine, lifting the shoulders up, tucking your chin in. And go ahead and reverse. So inhale down. Exhale, reverse. Inhale down. Exhale, reverse. So this is a good warm up for your spine. All right, so we're going to come into our neutral position, which means our spine is nice and straight. We're going to come into a sunbird. So this is a good balance challenge. It's also going to start working your core a bit. So if you wobble and fall out of here, not a big deal. Just slowly get back into it. So you can start with either side. Let's do the right arm and left leg. So you're going to take your left leg and you're going to start to extend it and then slowly lift it up. Now your leg doesn't have to be very high. It can be just slightly off the ground. You want to make sure your toes are pointed or flexed, up to you. And then with an inhale, you're going to start to lift the opposite arm. So if we're doing left leg, let's do right arm. So with an inhale, we're going to hold here and exhale. And let's add some movement. So inhale, bring everything in towards center. Give your belly a nice little squeeze. And exhale, extend nice and long. You can bring your eyes along with you, looking at your fingers. Inhaling in, belly squeeze. Exhale, extend nice and long, extending everything. Inhale, bringing everything in. And exhale out. And one more time, inhale in. And extend. Nice and long. And then place everything down on the ground. Go ahead and take that left wrist and shake it out a bit. And we're going to switch sides. So balancing on the left knee and the right arm, we're going to extend that right leg up, pointing or flexing your toes. And whenever you're ready, go ahead and float that left arm up. So we'll take an inhale and exhale. So inhale in, exhale, extend. Inhale in, exhale, extend. And a couple more times, moving at the pace of your own breath. So maybe that's moving slower, maybe it's a little bit faster. I prefer doing poses slow and controlled. I feel it helps work my muscles a little bit more and it helps challenge my balance. All right, one more time in, and exhale, extend nice and long. Place everything down, shaking out the wrist. Good job. We're going to place our big toes together, knees will be apart. Go ahead and send those hips back into your child's pose, extending your arms nice and long on the mat. Forehead could be on the ground as well, and take a deep breath here. I love going into child's pose as this pose helps quiet the mind and ease stress. And there's also positive benefits for your nervous and lymphatic system. So let's unwind from our child's pose. We'll lift our head up. We're going to rock our shoulders forward and we're going to make our way into our first downward dog. So go ahead and tuck those toes, lifting those hips and knees up towards the sky. Go ahead and pedal your feet out, stretching out the backs of the legs one by one. We're reaching our shoulders towards the back of our mat. Our neck is relaxed. All right, let's float our right leg up towards the sky. Again, your leg doesn't have to be very high up, as high as you want to lift it. And we're going to float that right foot in between our legs, dropping that back knee, coming into our low lunge. Now, you want to make sure that the front knee is right above the ankle. So if it's too far forward, reel that knee back. And if this is too intense in your hip area, go ahead and bring that back knee a little bit more forward. If you want a deeper stretch, push that left knee a little bit back. So we're going to stay in our low lunge for a second. You can place both hands on either side of your foot. If you have two blocks to help lengthen your arms to prop you up more, feel free to use that. You can also use some books. And then you can add some twist if you want, lifting one arm up at a time. And from here, we're going to send our hips back a bit. We're going to float onto that right heel, coming into our half monkey. Now this can be a little bit of an intense pose. So again, if you have those blocks to elongate your arms to help prop you up a little bit more, that might help alleviate some of this stretch in the back of your leg. So once you're here, again, hinging at the waist, leaning forward. And just holding here for a couple breaths. All right, we're gonna lift our head up. We're gonna rock onto that front foot. We're going to tuck the back toes, and we're gonna pivot all 10 toes, coming into a goddess pose. So this is a wide leg squat stretch, arms up if you want. And if you want, you can go side to side. All right, and from here, go ahead and straighten out the legs. Turn all 10 toes forward and leaning forward into a wide leg fold. And there's several options for your arms here. You can hold on to opposite elbows. You can interlock your hands behind you, stretching those arms overhead. Or you can reach your arms through. All right, let's walk our hands back towards center. We're gonna walk our hands towards the front of the mat, turning all 10 toes. And from here, we're gonna float that right foot back into a plank. All right, let's go ahead and lower down into Chaturanga. So lowering down, knees, chest, chin, pushing up into your upward dog, and pushing back into downward dog. Now we're gonna do the same flow on the other side. So let's float our left leg up towards the sky and floating that left foot forward, placing it in between our hands and dropping the back knee down. So again, paying attention to the front knee, making sure it's right above that ankle. We're going to get a nice stretch here in our low lunge. You can lift your arms up again, or keep them right on the ground. All right, from here, let's send our hips back, coming into our half monkey pose. So, flipping onto the left heel, leg is nice and straight, spine is nice and straight, hinging at the waist, leaning forward, feeling that deep stretch in the back of that left leg. And releasing the neck, letting the head rest down. Remembering to breathe. And from here, lifting the head up. Rocking forward, placing that foot on the ground, tucking the back heels, lifting the back knee, turning all 10 toes, coming back into your goddess pose. So again, flowing side to side. Palms can be at heart center or open nice and wide. And I'm going to turn around for this next pose. And again, let's come into our wide leg fold. So legs are straight, leaning forward, releasing the neck, letting your upper body hang heavy. And once again, playing with the different arm options. So holding on to opposite elbows, reaching through your legs. You can even hold on to the outside of your legs, pulling your upper body a little bit further into the stretch, or clasping the hands overhead. Nice straight arms stretching overhead. Let's go ahead and release the arms, turning all 10 toes back towards the front of the mat, floating that leg behind, staying up in plank or lowering down to your knees, and dropping down to Chaturanga. Let's go ahead and place the arms right underneath our shoulders, and we're going to slowly roll up into our upward dog. So your arms can be bent, or you can lift them straight. And exhale, rolling down. And one more time, lifting up a little bit, or all the way up. And exhale down. And one more time, lifting up and down. And let's lift up and come back into our child's pose. All right, so let's take another deep breath here in our child's pose. Inhale in through your nose and exhale out. And let's lift our head up, rocking the shoulders, tucking the toes, sending the hips back. And let's walk towards the front of our mat. So from here, we'll stand at feet at hips distance apart. Place your hands into fists, place them in between your feet, and that will be hip distance. Go ahead and bend your knees as much as you need, straightening your legs as much as you like. The more you straighten them, the deeper the stretch in the back of your legs will be. And again, we don't want to be arching our spine like that. You want a nice straight spine hinging at the waist. And releasing the neck, letting the head hang heavy. And there's different ways that we can place our hands. They can be right on the ground. We can interlock them behind our back again, stretching them over our head like we did in our wide leg fold. Or you can hold on to opposite elbows. All right, from here, we're going to come into a chair pose. So we're going to bend the knees, lifting the upper body up and floating the arms up next to our ears. We want to make sure that we can see our toes. So if your knees are too far forward, reel them back. You want to make sure you're not tensing up your feet either. So go ahead and give your toes a little wiggle, lifting the arms up. And we're going to slowly lower our hips as much as we can, coming into the world's most uncomfortable chair, as I like to call it. So from here, you should start feeling it in your thighs, lifting your chest up. You can add little bounces if you like, or you can just stay still. Take a deep breath in here. And exhale, float forward. Good job. And we'll come into it one more time. And now with your feet placement, they can be together or they can be slightly apart, whichever helps you balance more. All right, and let's float into our chair again. So lifting the arms up. See if you can go a little bit deeper, lifting your chest up a little bit more. And float forward. Awesome job. Let's go ahead and lower our body down onto the ground. Go ahead and place your feet flat on the ground. We're going to hold on to the backs of our thighs and slowly lowering our upper body onto the ground. So from here, let's take our hands and place them on top of our shins and just rock side to side. Taking a deep breath in and out. Now, if you want, you can extend your legs out nice and long and your arms coming into a Shavasana. Or if you want, you can roll onto your side, using your arm to help prop you up. And we're gonna come back into a seated position, just like how we started. All right, so now we're back to the pose that we started with, coming full circle. Go ahead and close your eyes. Let's take 3 deep cleansing and energizing breaths. So closing your eyes, spine nice and tall, taking a big inhale in through the nose, and exhale out. And 2 more, inhale in, and exhale. 1 more time, big inhale, and exhale. All right, and there we go. We are done with today's yoga practice. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more yoga, more guided yoga practices. And please leave a comment below and let me know what type of flows or practices you'd like to see. Have an amazing rest of your day and see you guys again soon.